ahead on Early Birds. We're just a few hours from the Falcons hitting the field in Baltimore. We'll tell you what Shock wants to see next from the rookie QB and go one-on-one with Atlanta's own Captain America. We've got bold college football predictions that dogs and jackets will all love. Hang on tight. We've got a lesson on how if you need it.
Gotta get your pad level low too. Like that. And then that's it.
I love it.
Ball security 101.
Early Birds is ahead.
Grab a cup of your favorite Joe and let's talk Falcons football on Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Good morning and welcome into a rare game day edition of Early Birds, DJ. This is kind of nice.
I like it because we get right to the action. We don't have to wait till next week I like action going right now.
Waking up with football, always a good thing. And let's get things started, as we always do, with the opening drive. Falcons and Ravens in 3.5 hours. But DJ, the big move broke Wednesday night. It became official Thursday morning. The Falcons made a trade with New England for Pro Bowl pass rusher Matt Judon. I see your reaction. This is a splash, man.
Oh, big splash. There's no even award in the pool that is a big splash. Because here's the thing. We've been asking for a pass rusher for years now. Somebody who can get to the quarterback. Somebody who can absolutely be a game wrecker. And now we have Matt Judon, 66.5 career sacks in his entire career. You're talking about a guy in 21 and 22, 28 total sacks. He only played in 4 games last year because of a torn bicep injury, but he had 4 sacks in those 4 games. So we have a proven guy who can get after the quarterback, and I guarantee you, this guy's going to be an immediate impact for this Falcons defense.
Answers a big question. The Falcons sent a 3rd-round pick to New England. Raheem Morris knows Judon's resume. He's also played against him.
The Pro Bowl thing is impressive, but actually going out there and playing against this dog when he was in Baltimore when we were here in 2016, and I remember Mohamed Sanu having to sift him and said, man, I'm not doing that. And he said, let's spread this thing out, man. Let the big people block the big people, man. That type of a player and what he does and what he can bring to the table is always fun, particularly when you talk about adding to that group.
Mohamed Sanu sitting at home watching Early Birds like, what did I do? All right, as we continue on the opening drive, we got a good look at Michael Penix in the preseason game against the Dolphins. The rookie debut, he's had a pair of scoring drives, did not turn the ball over. So, Shock, what are the next steps for the 1st-round pick? What do you want to see in the second opportunity today?
You know, I think he did a really good job. It's hard to nitpick a lot of stuff, but there were a couple instances where he overthrew a guy, or maybe he threw the ball out of bounds on a fade route. Just be more consistent, giving his guys a chance. Now, that goes both ways. Sometimes receivers don't always run the right route, right, Michael Jenkins? Sometimes it happens. But I want to see him just finish drives, put more touchdowns on the board, and see how you can fare there. Score more touchdowns, and let's get it going. Now, here's Michael Penix talking about why consistency is key, especially going this week.
You know, just make sure I stay on track, stay consistent with everything I do. My attitude, obviously the accuracy part as a quarterback, you got to be consistent with that, but, just my attitude, just the way I attack each and every opportunity I get to be on the field, and that's what it's always about.
And as we wrap up the opening drive, Shock, injuries put a big damper on the first preseason game. Safety DeMarco Helms out for a while. Edge Braylon Trice out for the season. Now, you got Matt Judon. That's a big fix right there. But I imagine Raheem Morris, Terry Fontenot today will be watching to see who steps up to fill some roles that might now be available.
Yeah, Justin, it's the old cliche. When one guy goes down, somebody else has to step up and fill that role. There are a lot of guys that are on this roster that are fighting for opportunities to play. Here's an opportunity for another guy to step up on the outside. Obviously, you got Judon, but is it a D'Angelo Malone time for him to step up? We saw Kevin King last week in the secondary be a guy that absolutely can be that. Richie Grant, can he fully take full grips of that safety position? A lot of guys will use these last 2 preseason games to show why they deserve to be on this team and get playing time.
We'll be watching closely. Welcome into Early Birds alongside DJ Shockley. I'm Justin Felder. And Shock, do you think the injuries the Falcons dealt with in the game against the Dolphins will affect what Raheem Morris wants to do today in terms of who plays, who doesn't?
That would be a no, because he doesn't want him to play at all anyway. So the injuries have no bearing on how he thinks about it. He don't want to play regardless, so it is what it is.
Decision made. We'll find out what he does in a few hours. And to keep us awake till then, Shock, go fill up your Charm City coffee.
Okay.
I'm thinking about coffee puns this year. You like it?
I don't like coffee. So,
Big coffee fan right here.
Not a fan
DJ
at all.
Shockley loves coffee. Go warm up the fill room. We will see you in just a few. Actually, we're going to see DJ as soon as I finish this intro, because Shock sat down with the man they call Captain America this week. Rookie and Blessed Trinity alum J.D. Bertrand is in a crowded linebacker room, but is already making an impression. Captain America, it's not a nickname you get for nothing. J.D. and D.J. went one-on-one this week.
Now joined with my fellow hometown guy, JD Bertrand. Obviously, JD, first off, man, you get drafted to the Falcons, hometown guy. What's it felt like to actually stay home and play for a team that you watched growing up?
It's been an unbelievable experience to have so many family, friends, just kind of everyone in my whole circle is from Georgia, and so just to have them supporting me and have them so close, it's been unbelievable.
Obviously, you go through OTAs, you go through minicamp, and you get a chance to put on this Falcons uniform. What has been the first initial emotions and impressions you've had of playing in the National Football League?
Yeah, it's been pretty surreal. I mean, I didn't even know what to think initially, and I think one of the even cooler things is you got the Falcons, and then I went to Notre Dame. We don't put our last names on our jerseys, so it's not just the Falcons, but it's the Falcons with my last name on the jersey, and so that combination, I mean, you couldn't beat it.
Take me through another first. You just had another first playing in your first NFL game. What was it like to actually strap it on and look over there and say, hey, that's the Miami Dolphins, and I'm walking out with the Falcons?
Yeah, it was once again just an unbelievable experience. I mean, I think the thing is, you're always trying to learn. There's things that I'm trying to get better at from that game onto the next one, but just having that whole experience, having my family there supporting me, having my uncle come, my uncle's coworkers, he scheduled his work meeting in Miami,
Sweet.
So kind of just brought out a big crowd, and so just to be able to play in front of them and be able to represent the hometown team, it was awesome.
All right, as a guy who has been in this league and know what it's like to have a nickname, Raw from day one calling you Captain America. A lot of the guys talking about, I don't know if we can call him Captain America yet. Have some of your teammates taken to it yet, or are they like, nah, we can't get that to the rook yet?
I get it a little bit here and there, honestly. Like some of the cafeteria staff, like just you kind of get it from little random places you hear. You kind of forget that it's your nickname, and then you hear it again. So I mean, it's not the worst nickname you can have.
It's time to get some game intel from Shock. You're invited into the film room, so cut the lights and let's get started.
Now, we were just talking about Michael Penix and his ability to be able to throw the football over the yard, but I think the biggest thing is his ability to be able to process. That's one thing Raheem Morris talked about, being an elite processor on this level and maybe get the football out of his hand. Now, this is a great example of how he does that. Now, initially, he wants to throw the football down here. What's going to happen is he's going to get a route that comes underneath here. Now, they're going to pass this off between this linebacker and this corner here. They're going to pass it off, and they're actually going to cover it, and they're going to cover the deep route here. He has to get backside to throw this in cut on the backside that he likes even better. So this in cut's going to come across the backside, but also he does a good job of watching this guy. This is a big-time player in this linebacker position here. So as the play gets started, look at his head and eyes. Head and eyes are looking there. He wants to throw it here. You can see him easily looking this way. Eyes going this way, wants to throw it this way, but it's not there. It's covered. Each guy, he's covered. Now he's going to get backside to his third read on the backside and be able to hit this particular route coming on the inside. And he does such a good job of the last part of holding his eyes and getting it back here. Eyes come back, but also look at this last part of it. Does a good job here. Look at this linebacker right here in the middle. This guy can absolutely pull him up. But he does such a great job right here of holding him up and putting him on his back shoulder so he doesn't run into the particular defensive back here. So nice job here holding him up and an easy completion. Very nice job. I'm going to show it to you one more time from the back end. Look at his head, looking right, come back left. Boom, shoot it to him. Nice job of getting upfield. And this is a very good job, Michael Penix, processing information. Hopefully he can do this again today and put some more good things on tape, Justin.
Shock, an impressive debut. We'll see what Penix has in store today against the Ravens. We've got more to come on Early Birds. College football season is getting closer. Michael Jenkins has his predictions of the playoffs that the Dogs are going to like, and a bold prediction Jackets fans will love. Plus,
Instead of like this or running it like this. Ball security 101.
hang on tight. Tyler Algier gives you a ball security lesson we all need. That is next on Early Birds.
You're watching Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz. The best, nothing. And sponsored by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. Truist, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. And the Home Depot, how doers get more done. More Early Birds coming back at you. Early Birds. It's not Saturday down south without talking college football. Brought to you by Zaxby's, Famous Fingers and Sauces. Here's Shock.
Back on Early Birds here with a living legend, you guys. My man, I got great intro right there. You like that? I got Michael Jenkins here to talk a little college football as the season is upon us, Jink, and it's only right we get some thoughts from you about the college football season, hit you with a couple topics, and I can't wait to hear about this bold prediction you got. All right, let's start on the back end where, I know season started, but let's talk on the back end. I'm not going to ask you about the 12-team playoff, who you think gets in there, but let's talk about your Final Four. Who do you think gets into the Final Four, Jake, because that's what matters the most?
You're going to like the first one, Georgia.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to like the second one, Ohio State.
All right.
Then we're going to go Texas.
And
we're going to go Oregon.
All right.
So those are kind of the Final Four right there. And, it's going to be an interesting season now with 12 teams making the playoff. And so they won't be the initial four because out of the Big 12, you can see somebody like Utah winning the Big 12. So they would be the fourth team as the champion of the Big 12. But in the end, I can see these four teams be in the Final Four.
UGA and Texas could possibly play each other three times. If that goes the way you say it.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Now, here's one coach who Jink has in his top four that is not too high on where his team is right now.
We got a long way to go as a football team. We are nowhere near where we close to where we need to be. I feel like we have less depth than we've ever had, and that's kind of a common theme talking to other coaches I talk to. I call it the deterioration of football because every year we've been here, I feel like we've had more players capable of going in and play winning football, and every year that goes down. So we got to keep working to increase that number.
Everybody's never happy, right? Man.
Never satisfied.
Another major topic is obviously the Heisman Trophy. Putting up big numbers, winning games, that always helps. You have an early Heisman prediction for us?
I do. And I know the favorite is Dylan Gabriel out of Oregon. But I like Quinn Ewers out of Texas.
You like Texas right now?
Yeah, I'm on Texas right now a little bit. But I know you won't like this, but obviously Texas plays Georgia.
True.
If he wins that game, that kind of puts him into the driver's seat of being the Heisman front runner.
Yeah,
so he also has to go to Michigan and play a very difficult Michigan defense up there. So he wins those games, you can see him, possibly pulling out the Heisman.
Yeah, high-profile games definitely help. Here's Jink's guy and his head coach talking about the great honor that is the Heisman.
The Heisman is a great honor for sure. But Coach Stark says it all the time. With team success comes individual accolades. I just want to go out there and win every day and win every week.
I'm really fired up for Quinn. As much as it's been his physical development, I think his personal development, his emotional development is something that has instilled a ton of confidence in everybody in our building.
All right, Jink, the moment we've all been waiting for. Bold prediction, what is it?
This is very bold, but I like it. I like Georgia Tech getting that 12th spot in the playoff. They can go 10-2. You got Miami at home. You got Notre Dame at home. You got Florida State on a neutral site. So they have the opportunity to make some noise, but even losing 2 games, but being that second team in the ACC and possibly getting in at that 12th spot.
You might want to check your phone. You have got 1,000 new followers from Georgia Tech for sure. All right, Jay, looking forward to all your college football insight this season. We appreciate you for sure. And Justin, that bold pick was unbelievable. What do you think?
You know what? Jacket's got a good quarterback. That goes a long way, as you well know, DJ Jank. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Great stuff. Well, one thing we will not do here on Early Birds is drop the ball. Each week we got a segment, my favorite segment, called Going Deep, where a Falcons player explains how they do what they do. And speaking of not dropping the ball, Tyler Algier has 396 career carries and 0 fumbles. So he's the best guy to explain this in Going Deep.
Just details.
Powering in for a Falcon touchdown. What a way to cap a drive.
Details and 5 grips, 5 points of contact. So it really just comes to those details. And once you just know you're going to be in traffic, just cross grip it, and then you don't want to have air, because that's where obviously they're going to start punching at it. But once you just feel like you're going to get into traffic and stuff, just keep it high and tight.
You said 5 points of contact. Explain that.
I can't verbally explain it, but if I had a ball, I can easily.
I got a ball in here.
For real? Let me see.
On the spot here.
2 fingers.
Okay.
Like that. Boom, boom. On your bicep. Chin. And then that's kind of how you want to. Okay. Instead of like this or running it like this. Ball security 101. Here, you try it.
This is going to look dumb.
You want to have the top hand up.
Okay.
Top hand.
So
like
I'm
that.
Like this.
Yes, and then No. So you'll switch. You'll go. Boom. Get to your left. Boom. And then keep it in your left hand, but the contact, and then, yeah. But then do this.
Then do this.
Yes, but
Sorry,
then.
it's with my left hand, so I'm like out of it. Okay.
But then cross grip it.
Boom.
Like this. And that's how.
So now I'm ready to
But then
tackle.
gotta get your pad level low too. Like that. And then that's it.
I think Kelly's got it. That was awesome. We got more to come on Early Birds. When a new player joins the team and they've got an injury history, the medical staff has some networking to do. We'll explain next on Early Birds.
Going Deep is brought to you by Zaxby's. Famous fingers and sauces. We're getting your Saturday started right. Early Birds is back in a moment.
When the Falcons first signed Kirk Cousins, a lot of fans had questions about his health, of course, coming off a torn Achilles. Atlanta's medical staff got to work on that very question as quickly as possible, a process they go through whenever they bring in a new player. And that's the focus of this week's Emory Road to Recovery.
When a new player joins our team, like Kirk, who comes from another organization and has had maybe an injury or a surgery, the medical community in the NFL is a small-knit group. We're all very collegial with each other. We all know our professional standards that we keep. And so I know that when you're with a certain team and you have surgery by a certain doctor, whatever that may be, that you had a well-performed, trustworthy surgery, and then you had a recovery process under the watchful eyes of a very trained and well-performing staff. And then you talk to the athlete and say, okay, and then what else did you utilize outside of your team? Did you go to a certain trainer? Did you go receive treatment here? Or are people coming to you to treat you? And you talk through that process when you've obtained a new athlete so that you can kind of start from square one with them, but understand what they did prior to getting to you. And then if you need to kind of backtrack, you do. If you can kind of go forward a little faster, you do. If you just pick up right where they left off, you do. And so it's kind of individualized to where they come into the process with the new organization. And we just talk to them and make sure that what they liked, what was positive for them about the recovery so far, we continue to push, and what maybe they didn't like or what wasn't working, we change.
Man, I love hearing that. All right, we got more for you on Early Birds. One Falcons player says that his sisters helped inspire some off-season work on the flag football field. He'll tell you about it after the break.
You're watching Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz, on your official home for Falcons football, Fox 5 Atlanta. Early Birds has been presented to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
I had three sisters growing up who all played sports and had passion and loved football. I'm excited that flag is an opportunity to really include participation.
Chris Lindstrom was on hand as the Falcons gave Henry County Schools a grant to launch a middle school flag football program. This was back in May at Union Grove High School in McDonough. And DJ, the Falcons really putting a lot of emphasis on flag football, not just around Georgia, but around the country.
I love it. My son started out playing flag football, teaches you a lot about the game, and takes away some of the major injuries you may get from playing actual sport. But to see, young ladies doing it and having a good time, really cool.
Very cool stuff from Chris Lindstrom and the Falcons. And be sure to join us for the Dirty Bird Report. Tomorrow night we'll have highlights, interviews, and so much more, breaking down the Falcons and Ravens game, which, by the way, is coming your way in just over. It's early for math for me. I need more of the coffee. 3 hours from right now, 11:30 a.m. By the way, our pregame show. Before we go, one more matchup to watch as the Falcons get ready to take the field in Baltimore.
I want to see Casey Washington again. He had a lot of attempts in last ball game. He only had 2 or 3 catches. Can he be the guy that steps up to get that maybe 4th or 5th receiver spot?
Yeah.
And hey, 2 rookies, Michael Penix, maybe they got that bond together. Maybe that's one you got to watch out for today.
And they were giving him the ball a lot against the Dolphins. They were trying to get him involved.
Yeah, get him involved, see what he can do, put him on return something. Let's see what that guy can do. Maybe he can add to the team.
Falcons and Ravens coming up in a little while, which reminds me, DJ, you got to go.
Yeah, I got to get out.
I can take it home from here.
I got to go call the game. See you later.
DJ's going to be on the call from Baltimore, catching Air Shockley as we speak. For DJ, who's gone, I'm Justin Felder. Thank you for joining us on Early Birds. Have a good morning and a great rest of your weekend.